Hi, welcome to Wine Mastery. My name is John Lightfoot and this is
John Murphy.
And we're here to tell you all about wine, hopefully help you find the wine, if not the wines that you will absolutely adore. And in this episode, we're talking about another one of the top 15 wines sold in the UK by volume. And it is the Yellow Tail Shiraz. Now this is a wine from Australia. It is obviously it's in the top 15, so it's very, very popular. And indeed, Yellow Tail generally the wines that they produce really seem to hit the spot in terms of the consumer because they're in the top 15, so it speaks for itself. So, should we have a look at the colour?
Let's go for it, John.
Let's go for it. Wow, that's deep, isn't it? Even against the lights, that hardly any light getting through that.
That is indeed, that is very dense, very purple.
One thing I've realised we've not done for a while is you've not looked for your ring.
Let's have a look, John.
I can't see one on that.
No, it's just very purpley anyway. I think it has that purpley
tinge.
Yeah.
I was going to say hinge. I don't know where a hinge came from.
We'll call it a tinge for
yeah,
now.
let's go a tinge.
But it looks really good. It does look good.
Oh, I think that.
I had
to go off.
How long have you been doing this, John?
Still.
It's okay. Let's all have a go now together.
Let's all have a go. Wow. Now that it's not what I would have expected from a Shiraz.
No.
I would have expected something more spicy, peppery. Seems on the nose anyway. It seems very soft.
Yeah, it smells nice, but as you say, soft. It's nothing in there that's a.
No, and actually that is something that maybe I need to overcome. And I know that you very much start to expect it's a Shiraz, so it's got a smell and it's got a taste like that. And the danger of that, of course, is that you actually stop enjoying it for whatever taste it is.
That is actually there, yeah. And that can be unusual because it work the other way. That sometimes you think it's going to taste like this, but then you get one that tastes a different way, but actually is better, if you know what I mean, rather than. But I'm smelling the blackcurrant in there. I can get the blackcurrant.
Yeah, I can get red fruits. I'm not quite sure.
We're going to have to have a go.
We're going to have to have a go. So let's move on to the tasting now. Oh, he's moved. He's there already. Well, again, that surprised me. It's a lot softer, more rounded. There's none of that sort of pepperiness that I personally associate with Shiraz. It's almost like, I think if I was blind tasting this, and I'm not very good at doing this blind tasting at all, I would have gone for that's very fruity. So is it a Cab Sav?
Yeah, and I tell you what else has there, there's a sweetness there, which I've tasted in different Shirazes. Which I don't like. It's a sweetness there which makes it soft and makes it very palatable as such. But I think after 2 or 3 glasses of that, me personally, I think that I'd be able to struggle because I'd only be concentrating on that flavour. So as it stands, I can understand how people like it, and I'm not saying it's a bad wine, not in a million years. But it just that sweetness doesn't sit well with me as a Shiraz. That's not for me how a Shiraz. I mean, the tannins are coming through nice. I expect that, and then it's like almost like a finish of a tobacco-y flavour that just kind of hints on in there. But other than that,
but if you were to close your eyes, let's put it this way: if I said to you, "Here's a glass of Cabernet Sauvignon," what would you say then?
If this was if you told me this was Cabernet Sauvignon, again. The thing that would put me off would not be the fruity flavour, and what would throw me the other way is the sweetness, because that sweetness in there is not for me.
So, I mean, in terms of sweetness, what if you were blind tasting, what would you think that was?
I'd struggle. I would probably.
I've never heard of that wine.
I would probably say it was a blend, because I couldn't put my finger on one thing.
What, a GSM?
GSM? What's that?
Well, that's like Cote de Rhone, isn't it? It's Grenache.
Yes. Because I can't put my finger on anything. If anything, towards the end, I'd probably say that just doing that there. There's a bit Rioja-esque because it's got the nice tannins in there and that tobacco flavour. But the first part of it would not confirm that sweetness. So I would struggle with that. I would definitely struggle to say it's a Shiraz. But again, I'm not saying it's a bad Shiraz, it's just not a Shiraz I would choose.
Well, I wonder, obviously these guys are, they're a very Yellowtail massive operation, and they may well have really targeted their audience and know exactly the taste that their audience like.
Yeah.
And in terms of research, and just kept tweaking the taste until they got their audience. That's their customer base, and that's the taste that. Because what I was thinking when you were saying, this isn't a Shiraz, I was thinking, well, actually, yeah, but if you disassociate from it, forget that it's a Shiraz, it's a glass of wine, and actually just drink it as a glass of wine. Does it taste nice? It tastes lovely. It really does taste lovely. The tannins are nice balance. I mean, it is around about, I think we said about £7 for this.
Yeah, £7. Yeah.
So, for £7, the length is reasonable, the balance of the alcohol and the fruit is reasonable. There's nothing to complain about it in that sense. But I know that you're comparing it, you know what a Shiraz should taste like, and that's your barrier, I think.
And I'm also, it's that sweetness again, I'm coming back to it, I'm not letting this go. That sweetness for me wouldn't, I'm not saying ruin it for me, but it's really stopped me enjoying it.
Because you don't like sweet wine?
It's not even sweet, it's just that sweet bit that hits you to begin with. I do like sweet wines in certain environments, certain times with certain foods, but this, as a Shiraz, is not for me.
But forget the fact that it's a Shiraz, it's just not for you.
Yes, I'll give you that, because that sweetness, it could be anything, but that sweetness is not for me.
Okay, well, I'd say that I think this is a really delicious wine. In terms of complexities, I agree, it's like a one hit, but the one hit is very, very nice. And for £7, this is gonna hit the spot for most people. I think that it's not a wine that you would want to say, I'm gonna try and dissect this and find the taste, but it is a wine to enjoy with friends and over dinner.
A good, yeah.
You need convincing.
I need convincing.
Okay.
Yeah, I need convincing.
Well, let's go to what you would actually pair with this.
In cheese, we're talking cheese.
Yeah.
Again, I would probably say something like a territorial cheese, something that's got a little bit more flavour. So a white crumbly cheese with something like a fillet, which I don't think would be a popular thing, but I would struggle. I would say Kefilli, but go with Kefilli because that's got a lot more flavour about it. It's an unpasteurised cheese. It's got two little textures in there, so I reckon that would elevate that slightly for me.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice because Kefilli is quite is it quite crumbly?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and quite white. And okay, well, I bow to your superior knowledge.
Well, I don't know. It's all trial and error, but that's
no, absolutely. You've tried it a lot more times than me, so I'm sure.
What, Kefilli or? Yeah, let's leave that there.
So, and what about if you were having a meal rather than cheese? You were drinking this for a meal. I'd be quite happy to have this with I think a stewy, something a little bit heavy. Not so much a spag bowl, but something a little bit more intense.
I think ribs.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah.
With some sauce on barbecue. Yeah.
That might.
Yeah,
that
with
might
the sweetness of that. Oh yeah. No, I really get that. Yeah.
So then anything. I don't know, a beef or a steak, I think you'd be disappointed. Like we've spoken earlier about a Malbec going with the steak. So Malbec holds up, stands up for itself. With the steak, I don't think that would stand up for itself, and I think you'd be disappointed. No? I don't think so. I don't know because I'd yet to try it with the steak. But yeah, some nice sticky ribs.
No, my mouth's watering now. My mouth is watering. Okay, so let's move on to the score. Actually, this actually tells a story, John, because if you look at my glass, if you hold your glass up, my glass is nearly empty. Yours is still something, which says a story because normally it is the other way around.
It is, yeah. I'm usually done before the end of the video.
And actually, there's a story in that, isn't there? In as much as just because we say it's nice or we don't say it's nice, doesn't mean to say you're not going to enjoy everything. That's why I make so many different wines. Everything is down to your personal choice. So. What are we going to...
This is the way we're going.
Score-wise, what are you going to give it? Or do you want me to go first?
You can do, yes. I'll let you go first. Go on.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to say that, so I haven't actually computed what I'm going to say.
Well, I think I have mine in my head already.
All right, go for it.
I'm going to go straight out, and this is in no way, this is just my score and my opinion, and I'm going to say 72.
Okay.
And I feel I'm being fairly generous with that.
Okay, I'd go 77. I was going to go 78, I thought, I'm just not sure. 77. I think it's a good solid wine. I can understand why it's in the top 15. There is absolutely nothing to complain about it, and it will really hit a lot of people's palate. I know yours is a very discerning palate because of the amount of wine that you drink, but for most people, I believe this will just really hit the button and it will be an excellent choice.
I have absolutely no doubt at all, John, that a lot of people will like that. I do think they will. It's just whether, as a Shiraz, I would rate it that much.
Yeah, understood. Understand. And I'm scoring it more on, do I like it? Whether it's, and I don't have your skills in terms of saying this is what a Shiraz should taste like. So I'm just saying, as a glass of wine, it's very good. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Excellent. So the conclusion is, for me, would I buy another bottle of this? The answer is yes. And for you? Unfortunately,
this time, John, I am going to have to disagree with you. It's not often I do disagree. But for me, I would say no, I wouldn't buy another bottle.
Well, that's fair enough, because obviously if we're saying yes to everything, it rather dilutes what we're saying. So, I mean, absolutely fine. You don't really want it, don't really like it. Therefore, you're not going to buy it. I did, and I would again.
That's fair too, John.
Okay, right, well, fantastic. Well, we've got some more of these coming up. We look forward to seeing you there. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, chin chin.
Chin chin.